Ben Murray here with another edition of SaaS Metrics School. Welcome. So, recording from my home office in the Denver suburbs. So, is LTV to CAC dead as a metric? So, you see a lot of social media posts about SaaS metrics, about just blanket statements about certain metrics. And with LTV to CAC, saw a post LTV to CAC is dead. Don't use it. So, usually when I see those, of course, that's clickbait for me. I have to read those because I live and breathe SaaS metrics. So is LTV to CAC really dead? So first, let's talk about what is LTV to CAC. So of course, we need LTV, which is customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is an estimate at a point in time. Very important. Now, I'm not going to go into a deep dive on LTV. I think I've covered that in other podcast episodes, covered again a future one. But LTV, lifetime value of a customer at a point in time, and it's a point in time because our financial profile changes, pricing changes, margins changes. LTV is gross margin adjusted. And of course, our churn profile changes. So we have the customer lifetime value, and then we compare that to customer acquisition costs. Of course, customer acquisition costs also a point in time based on our current financial profile and how our go-to-market function is performing, and CAC associated with new customer acquisition. This, of course, I had a training class on how to correctly calculate CAC. I'll include that show note, or I'm sorry, that link in the show notes. So if you want to check out that CAC class. The LTV of CAC is that balance between basically what I say is the cash flows that we're receiving from that customer or the margin, comparing that to the acquisition cost. Of course, if the lifetime value of the customer equals CAC, well, we're only covering acquisition costs. We've covered no other expenses other than CAC in our org, and we are doomed for failure. So the rule of thumb with LTV to CAC is 3 to 1. Now, the latest data, the latest benchmarks from Ray Reich at benchmark.ai show that it's actually above 3. It's pushing closer to 4. You can check out those benchmarks at benchmark.ai. So really that rule of thumb, it's a little bit higher, for that number that we're going after. But again, we have to have balance. So that's LTV to CAC. Now, when do I apply LTV to CAC? So I don't believe LTV to CAC is dead. I think if you offer lower price point products, so say $20 a month, $80 a month, $100 a month, high volume, low price point product or SaaS app, then LTV to CAC is very applicable. So there's a lot of volume of data flowing through your business. You're probably spending a lot on inbound acquisition and paid ads, and you're constantly tweaking, adjusting that. And we have to understand LTV to CAC. If we need to turn off one channel, adjust one channel, pull back on Facebook ads, push LinkedIn ads, whatever it might be, that LTV to CAC very applicable because there's a fine line in that acquisition, and we're spending tons, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe $1 million a month on paid ads. We have to know CAC and the resulting LTV. Very, very important. So I've seen some small, not small SaaS companies, but smaller price point SaaS companies live and die by LTV to CAC. They're measuring that every single week because they're spending so much on paid ads. Now, what if we offer mid-market enterprise products, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 annual contract? Then I am calculating that, but I'm not over rotating on it. It's one metric in my sales and marketing efficiency data set. That's going to be in pillar 5 of my 5-pillar SaaS metrics framework that I teach in my SaaS metrics course and I implement for my fractional clients. So that's going to be one of the many, that I measure. So of course, get calculated correctly, going to calculate CAC payback, LTV to CAC, cost of ARR on a blended new and expansion basis to give us an idea of overall sales and marketing efficiency metrics. Of course, then we may segment those metrics if applicable. I'm going to calculate it. And even if mid-market, if I'm offering a 20, 30K ACV price point and I'm acquiring 30, 40 customers a month, yeah, there's enough volume of data flowing through that business where that LTV to CAC will be relatively stable. It's just very hard in enterprise settings where we sell $1 million contract, $100,000 contract, and one we've got a 10x LTV to CAC, and maybe the other one we have 3. Well, what do we do with that? That's where we're looking at CAC payback, cost of ARR then. So again, don't believe those blanket statements you see in social media about certain metrics being dead, or this is the benchmark. CAC payback should be less than 12 months, and that's it. Completely wrong, because we can't benchmark our SaaS business against aggregate benchmarks. It's dangerous to our SaaS health. We need more data. We need to segment at a lower level. We need to compare our business based on what I like to do is ACV profile because the benchmarks are much different if I'm offering a $50 price product versus $100,000. Again, I use benchmark.ai to benchmark my SaaS companies that I work with. So we can't use those aggregate benchmark reports, very pretty, fun to look at, but we can't use that actually. If we're really going to take action on the data and metrics in our business, we have to benchmark at a lower level based on the characteristics of our SaaS business. So a little bit, of course, I can't avoid those social media posts about certain metrics or certain benchmarks, but just want to shed some light on how I view LTV to CAC and how I use that with the SaaS companies that I help. So thanks for listening. Again, if you receive value out of these SaaS Metrics School podcasts, I'd love a 5-star rating and review. Thanks.